Harry Brelsford here from Office 365 Nation and SMB Nation, and I'm doing a check-in with SkyKick in booming downtown Seattle. So I'm with Todd, Schwartz, and Evan Richman today. So gentlemen, it's been too long. We had a great summer. We're headed into fall.
It is. It was a great summer, but it's been too long, Harry.
It has.
It's great to see you, Harry.
Thank you. So let's talk about. Let's start with a check-in. What are you doing today in terms of you're positioning yourself as a cloud management company? How about a minute on that? Then let's back up and give context to who SkyKick is.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So cloud management is really a new category that we have developed. That is really what we're positioning it as is really the kind of the solution for the kind of end-to-end solution for solution providers to build a more successful business in the cloud. And what we did is, we've designed this thing like we did with migrations, and we've designed this thing to kind of be that cloud management platform so that they can build a more profitable practice. It includes 2 new products in addition to our cloud migrations that we've had for a while. We now have a cloud backup product, and we'll talk a little bit more about that, but it's a really exciting product. And we also have a new cloud manager that allows partners to manage all their customers' apps all in one unified dashboard. So
so who is SkyKick?
Yeah.
Let's go backwards.
Yeah, totally.
Well, I think many of your partners will know SkyKick through kind of what we developed initially around migration, right? So SkyKick is a company that is 100% focused on the channel and helping partners be successful as they transition their business to the cloud. And that has been the focus for SkyKick from the beginning of the company. And as we've developed any software to support our partners, it's really been thinking through how do we help partners be successful, both economically, but also in using the product and making sure they're always easy, simple, and something that is predictable for partners that they can rely on as we go through.
And I know we've talked for, I would offer a few years. I think I remember meeting you in the fall. And coming off for that was a few years ago. So how old is SkyKick?
Yeah. So SkyKick is, we actually, Evan and I both came from Microsoft.
Okay.
And we left 4 years ago.
Okay, so there we are.
So a lot, as we all know, the world's moving fast. A lot can happen in 4 years. So we left 4 years ago. We actually launched SkyKick 2 years ago.
Okay.
So we were in the migration business for the first 2 years.
Yeah.
But really we had a broader strategy to help, as Evan said, help partners build a more successful cloud practice, both getting their customers to the cloud and then managing them once they're there. And so we spent the first 2 years on the hardest problem, which is really the first problem, which was how do we move all those SMB users to the cloud in a very profitable, safe, efficient, low-risk way, and really support that solution provider to do a great job for their customers. And now cloud management, as we've evolved it, is the rest of the solutions that partners need to build a more successful, profitable practice.
Yeah, exactly. So let's talk about the 2 new products in particular. So I remember at the Microsoft Worldwide Partner Conference in July in humid Orlando, Florida. You were just starting the drumbeat about these new products. So let's take the backup solution. What's its name? What does it do? And so on.
So it is called SkyKick Cloud Backup.
Okay.
And what it does is it backs up Office 365, Exchange, SharePoint, and OneDrive to Azure. The idea of the backup is following kind of our overall philosophy and approach to helping partners is make it very, very simple, very easy. And so it's lightning fast search and restore. So literally you can search for a document or email and restore it within 1 click in seconds. And when we talk to our partners, as we were thinking about this evolution of our product portfolio, we very much like to stay in touch with the partners to figure out what's best for them. And backup really came to the top of the list. What happens is 75% of backup scenarios are based on human error and people deleting things. So this backup is not because Office 365 has a disaster recovery scenario. This is still that humans still are going to delete things and lose things, and they're going to call their solution provider in a panic to help me find it. And what we heard from partners, the average scenario is it takes about 4 hours for them to diagnose where the file is. Maybe they have to call Microsoft and Office 365, which takes a long time, and they have to go through it, and it's a very uncomfortable, it takes a long time, and it's very stressful during that time. Yeah. So our goal was to literally take something that was stressful, happened a lot, and took a long time, to literally make it down to seconds and super easy. The partner can add value to the customer, and the customer is off and running really quickly.
Yep.
Now, was your backup solution an acquisition, or is this something you developed?
Yeah, so no, all of our technology is 100% built here in the United States, in Seattle headquarters. And we from the beginning, again, we built this cloud management platform to really be extensible to all the cloud scenarios that we saw coming. Like, we kind of looked into the future and said, let's build this stack of technology to make it very easy for us to innovate for partners.
Yeah.
And so we really just leverage our cloud management platform itself to build this new scenario. Now, as I'm sure your readers and your viewers will know, doing cloud backup at enterprise scale, at cloud scale, is really hard to do. So we were in R&D on this product for quite a while.
Yeah.
We've got some incredible technology in our search. We've got a lot of DNA in search. Some of the same search technology actually that we use on our cloud migration product. But we build it specially for the backup scenario, because you don't want to be spending a lot of time looking for data when your customer's down, right?
Yeah.
And so there's some incredibly fast search that I put on par almost with a public search engine. And then the restore takes a second. Like, you just click a button, and all of a sudden, now we're leveraging our cloud management, our migration technology to restore it back up to the cloud. And of course, all kind of wrapped with a very easy user interface. So it really just takes less than a minute to set up. There's no hardware to install, nothing to install. You don't have to be an expert on backup. There's some definitely dials you can turn if you want to change the frequency or what have you. But we're effectively backing up the customer's entire Office 365, Exchange, and SharePoint and OneDrive data stores, as many as 6 times a day.
Yeah, and I get that. We use Office 365, and there is sort of that lingering feeling like, wait a minute, where's this being backed up to?
Exactly. Exactly. Well, I think a story is really illustrative here, right? Because, we actually had this scenario right before we were about ready to launch our own cloud backup. I wish it had been ready. It was in the spring, but somebody somewhere in the company had deleted one of our marketing folders with all of our sales presentations by accident.
Okay.
And we didn't realize it, because it was actually sales presentations from last year, but we didn't realize it until, a couple weeks later. By the time we went to go find those old sales presentations, they were gone. And we called Microsoft, and they were just nowhere to be found. And so we probably burned about 100 hours across the team trying to find that data, and ultimately it was lost. And literally for a couple bucks a month, if we had this empowered solution provider,
I get that.
we would just call them, they restore it in seconds, and we'd be on our way. Not to mention the cost of the data itself that was lost, which is priceless.
So we're talking with SkyKick, and we're talking about some evolution that they're involved in right now in terms of their product portfolio. The second product that you were announcing in July is the Cloud Manager. So what is the brand name? What does it do?
Yeah, so Cloud Manager is another product we're really excited about. And what we found, again, by talking to all of our partners, is the cloud is happening. We've been telling that story for a while. I think most of the folks know, like, the cloud ain't going away at this point. And what's interesting is the average number of SaaS-based applications that exist today, when we did our research, was about 2 per customer. So not a massive amount, but it's expected to actually double in the next 2 years. And so as the number of cloud applications, SaaS-based applications, proliferate, managing all those SaaS-based applications, and they can be different across all your customers, across your entire customer base, can start to become very time-consuming. It's like, you don't want to be paying somebody to take 4 or 5 hours, is what we found on average, to set up a new employee or remove an old employee. Every time they join the company or leave the company, there's just an incredible amount of management overhead.
I hear that.
Managing all the SaaS-based applications, so and infrastructure. And so we said, hey, look, again, we've got this incredibly powerful platform. Why don't we start to make the cost and efficiency of managing all your customers in the cloud across whatever applications they're using very, very fast and easy. And so with our cloud management product, you can actually manage users, you can manage teams, you can manage companies, and you can manage your service providers all from one dashboard, again, to make your cloud practice just really, really profitable and really, really easy to manage.
Yeah, I've seen some of these other dashboards, the concept.
Yep.
There's been conversations.
Yep.
But the other conversations I've had have been kind of at the enterprise level.
Mm-hmm.
SkyKick is known for sort of an SMB DNA, so
Yeah,
perhaps you're bringing
Yep.
this management console
Yep.
down to where we can use it. Does that make sense?
I was gonna say it makes a ton of sense, Harry.
Yeah.
And our focus has always been, as you said, is this SMB DNA and really serving the partner channel. It's really serving the solution
Yeah.
provider. So what we think is every activity and work that they need to do, to service their customer, and how do we make it fast? How do we make it easy? And so when you think about, as Todd was saying, as you go from 4 to 6 to 8 to 10 applications, whether it's QuickBooks and a payroll and paychecks and
Yeah.
and Office 365 and Dropbox and Salesforce, it adds up. And what you want to be able to do is make it very, very lightweight and simple for a solution provider to know that they can add a user, they've got the appropriate security groups across any of the applications
Yeah.
that their customer's using. If there's any issues happening with passwords, you can easily address those as well.
Yeah.
And so the idea is, yes, to enable across SMB what we think is going to be a broad set of SaaS applications.
Yeah.
And have a platform that can support all breadth as well as depth use cases for solution providers.
Well, it would seem to me that you have a unique value proposition from a portfolio point of view, that you're able to leverage your legacy, if you will. That's a relatively short legacy, a couple of years. But you have your partner base, you have your legacy brand,
it's funny to say
if you
that.
will,
Yeah.
and then you're able to extend that. Is that kind of what you're thinking? Is there more? I guess what I'm really asking is there more to come from SkyKick?
Definitely more to come. I mean, we are always continuing to innovate in a way that is, how does the cloud evolve and how a partner is going to build success in the cloud. So we are going to constantly be innovating and growing and enhancing what we're doing with the cloud platform. But one thing to just kind of point out is that there is a lot of symmetry that sits between migration, backup, and management as the three out of the gate. They combine together, because now those are kind of, I want to say, they're almost table stakes for a partner to play in the cloud.
Yeah,
You've got to
I
move.
can see that.
You've got to move your customer there. Once your customer's there, they're not going to call you to say when they lose stuff, and then they're going to call you, and you're going to want to help them manage their applications in the cloud. It's the three most natural things that happen as you're moving your customer base to the cloud, and from there it will continue to extend. Where you can add value to your customer is where we'll continue to evolve as well.
If you think about it, I mean, this is really interesting here, because your base, your base, again is, I think you said it earlier, comes from really a small business server perspective.
That's right.
Well, it was kind of funny is, as I kind of listened to this, we didn't set out to replace the small business server. I mean, but when you look at it, small business server had email, it had backup,
It's brilliant.
and it had user management. It was an incredible product.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the world is moving
changed.
forward, and that's all happening in the cloud. And so, I'm not going to call SkyKick the SBS server of the cloud, but it has actually many of the same workloads that you would have in SBS. And the best news is we're going to make it easy, really, really easy for partners that used to have a business on premise. It's actually, in many ways, our first 3 cloud management products are that exact same thing in the cloud. So it'll be very familiar for for the SMB nation and Office 365 nation readers.
Absolutely. So we have just a couple minutes left, and I wanted to hit on the recurring revenue theme. So you guys feel pretty strongly about the recurring revenue business model.
Yeah.
We do feel very, very strongly about it. And again, as we've talked to our partners, many of them think about how do they increase the long-term value of their company, whether it's now and they're building it for the next 20 years, or whether perhaps they're in the sunset period of their business and they're looking at some point to exit. And recurring revenue is a 5 to 10x multiple in terms of value of the company as opposed to revenue. So it can be valued at 10x revenue versus just a one-time, project-based break-fix type business.
That's right.
It's going to be, one times or less even.
That's right.
In terms of value. And so we look very closely at how can we enable partners to transition their economic model to the cloud in a way that, again, is wins for customers, win for them, and start adding, tremendous value to their company. So if your average Office 365 Nation partner has about, let's just call it 1,000 seats, and they're able to generate, $5 per seat in recurring revenue, which they can do between backup and management.
Yeah.
They're now already at $60,000 recurring revenue, and you multiply that by 5. You just went from being basically a $25,000, $50,000 value company to perhaps $300,000 to $400,000 by literally moving your base to backup and management.
Yeah, pay the mortgage off. Pay the mortgage off.
Pay the mortgage off and that's step one. And that's step one, because then you go from there.
Well, and it really, as we've seen, the world is changing, the pace of innovation is changing. There's a lot of risk and uncertainty out there. But if you can get on a stable recurring revenue business, it just provides a lot of peace of mind. And then you can either decide to grow it, you could decide to just go take a vacation and spend time with your family, or you can even sell your company when the time is right. But our goal is to give you the solutions and tools to help you build a really profitable business, which increases your value, your exit and terminal value whenever you're ready. And so, that's really been the goal all along is, again, to help the partners be successful in the cloud. And, I think moving to a recurring revenue business is a must-do at this point, given where we see where the market's going.
So maybe finally, are we going to hear more of this thought leadership conversation coming out of SkyKick moving forward? Is that, you guys seem comfortable with that role? Are we going to hear more of that?
Well, I would say we're in a very fortunate position because we have just an incredible partner base that's giving us a lot of insights.
Yeah.
And, again, our mission from day one for Evan and myself and the company is to help our partners be successful. And so I think we're in a very fortunate place to be able to aggregate that information, take those insights and our experiences, and basically share that information back with the community to help them make more informed decisions around their business. And so we don't like the term thought leadership, but certainly anything we can do to help from a technology, business, or sales perspective, that's what we're going to be doing. And yeah, you're going to see more things around those themes in the future.
Well, we'll check in with you certainly before the end of the year and see what's new.
Sure.
I've been with Todd Schwartz and Evan Richman today, and we're at SkyKick in the downtown Seattle area. This is Harry Brelsford with Office 365 Nation and SMB Nation. Thank you for listening.
Thanks, Harry.
Thanks, Harry.